US lifts sanctions on Iran's civil nuclear program. Antony Blinken, U.S. Secretary of State, signed multiple Joint Comprehensive Action Plan (JCPA) sanctions waivers on Friday, JCPOA. Some say the Biden administration's decision is part of the White House's blame game and won't help Iran's economy. In May 2018, former U.S. President Trump reneged on the JCPOA and reinstated the sanctions on Iran that had been eased as a result of the agreement. As part of his maximum pressure campaign, he also imposed new sanctions on Iran using non-nuclear pretexts. The JCPOA allows for a party to terminate its contractual obligations if the other party fails to fulfill. In a surprising turn of events, the Trump administration has reversed course and lifted sanctions on Russia, China, and European corporations that have been working with Iran under the provisions of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA. A senior U.S. State Department source told Reuters that the waiver is required in the last weeks of the Vienna negotiations, but that it is not a signal that the U.S. is close to negotiate an agreement to return to the 2015 pact. Discussions with other parties on stockpile disposal and other non-proliferation efforts cannot take place without this sanctions waiver, according to the official. As part of its maximum pressure campaign against Iran, the Trump administration revoked the so-called CIV nuke exemptions in May 2020. Trump's blunder was compensated for by the Biden administration, but sanctions remain in place as a kind of coercion. Officials in the Biden administration now claim that the exemptions have been reinstated in an effort to expedite the Vienna discussions, which started in April of last year. As part of the waiver, the State Department informed Congress that Iran will resume its JCPOA obligations. It is also intended to further U.S. non-proliferation and nuclear security objectives, as well as to restrain Iran's nuclear programs, the department said. Iran has refused direct talks with the U.S., citing Washington's departure from the JCPOA, unlawful sanctions on the country, and failure to lift the penalties while professing desire to rejoin the accord under a new government.